All right, all right, all right.
All right.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Free Lads and a Beautiful Game. I'm your host, who loves a roast, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Joey Six Times and Red Devil Soul. How we doing, boys? How we doing?
This week.
Huh?
Good this week.
Good. Yeah.
Good this
All
week,
right.
eh?
Yeah. Well,
Me?
we all got the dub. Our teams all got the dub this week.
Look. Happy, but at the
Mhm.
same time angry. You know what I mean? Like
Angry.
very happy, but also there's a little bit of fire in the belly there.
Okay.
We'll get to that one.
Well, yeah. I'm
One
intrigued to
game
hear
done,
why there's
definitely,
fire in the belly.
And after a couple disagreements with a certain person earlier today,
Mm-hmm.
I'm keen to get his thoughts live on the internet. Yeah, recorded.
Yeah, live on the show. Yeah,
So
100%.
just so that more people out there can hear his ludicrous calls.
Well, look, let's leave our all-time rapper from 2008 out of this, and let's just get into the show, okay? So we'll start off with, I guess, the United game, because that was the first game out of our 3 games this week. And let's just say a close one, but still, winners at the end, and you get the 3 points and move on. So, yeah. Please go away, Sol. How'd you feel about the game?
Told you it was going to be a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Yeah, it was a big game, a tough one for sure. Shouldn't have been.
Do you think it was a tough one? Because I don't know. I watched probably the first 50 minutes, I'd say.
It was just a tough one to score. It wasn't really.
And besides the 2 early goals,
yeah.
Besides the 2 early goals, you seem to control stuff from what I could see anyway. Like, well, don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting there just studying and examining United. I was just unfortunately have to watch a bit of this for this show. But yeah, I don't know. You seem to control from what I can see anyway.
Yeah, we started off lively, like saying, got the corner. Looked like it was going to be a good start. Got the corner. Bruno kicked it in, flicked it out. It was a 50-50 challenge with Wan-Bissaka. Both jumped up. The other Nottingham Forest player got to it. And what's his name? Ewanobi? Ewanobi? I don't really want to say it wrong. Whatever.
Ewanobi, I think, right?
Ewanobi, yeah, whatever.
He scored 7 goals in a row now, you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's I think he's the 3rd African player to do that behind Salah and I think it was Drogba, yeah, or Adebayor, one of the two. I can't remember, but yeah. Wait, what a pretty good start. Fair play to him.
And then Rashford got into another 50-50 ball. He got to it before Rashford, and to me it looked like Rashford sort of gave up right then and there, thinking like, "Oh, I'm an attacker. I don't have to run back." And I don't want to say his name, but that man ran through and sort of started it. Onana, I don't know what the hell he was doing, and then scored. That was terrible what he did.
I thought he was in pro clubs, eh?
Oh man!
They sat him on his ass before he took
man. He put him on his ass. He set himself on his ass. He actually got to the ball. If you see it, he sort of tapped it, but it wasn't hard enough, obviously. But yeah, it was a terrible start, and then 2 minutes later, it got even worse. Did it start recording again? Oh no, it just popped up again. 2 minutes later, we conceded a free kick a lot, and they did in. Rashford again completely missed the ball. I could actually say there was 3 people that missed the ball on that one. It was Martinez, Rashford, and was Casemiro? Pretty sure it was Casemiro. They all missed it. Free header, easy goal. Terrible defending. Then after that, like Joey was saying, mostly dominated the whole game. We had them pegged back the whole time. Even the whole first half. I think they had like 1 or 2 counter-attacking chances, but it didn't really mean too much. Like they didn't get anything out of it. Didn't look like they was going to score. What I should say. Then we just dominated in their own half the whole time, but we still couldn't break through. I think Casemiro had a good chance to score when I think it was just a cutback. It was a corner. Sorry. It was just it was a good corner. Everybody completely missed it. Casemiro should have had a free header completely. I don't know what he was doing. He's done that a few times now. Missed the goal. Easy goal as well. Then we went to the break 2-1. I sort of thought from when we scored, I sort of had a feeling we were going to win just by the way that we were playing. But
I sent you a message pretty early on.
I didn't look at my phone after they scored 2 times because I was like, these two are going to be messaging me straight away. So I didn't even bother looking at my phone. And then at halftime, I had a little sly look. And the first thing I seen was, you're going to come back. And I'm like, I was like, we are going to, I thought as well, we're going to come back. Second half started. It was a 51st minute. We got a free kick and beautiful set play that we did. Bruno to Rashford back to Bruno Casemiro goal. It was
similar situation from what you said. The miss. It was like a similar situation, but this time he scores. You know what I mean? Like,
scored, So thank God he got that.
That was a pretty good goal.
Yeah, that was a good training pitch goal. You could tell they did that. Everyone.
Yeah, 100%.
Even the Nottingham Forest, their second goal, they were doing like, I could see them doing like numbers, and the guys like, 2, 2, 3 or whatever they were saying, and then hit straight away, bang, goal. So like their one was sort of not a training pitch really.
I think that was more just shocking defending from United, because from what I saw, because to be honest, I wasn't watching your game in full. I was switching back and forth through that in the Arsenal game. And I just remember seeing that goal, and there was like 5 United players standing in front of the dude that scored. I don't know who scored, sorry, but and they didn't. No one got to him. He just sort of. I think the ball. I didn't think he even jumped. I think he just sort of. I think the ball just sort of came to him, and he just went, "Huh." Like, you know what I mean? It was a Maguire header, actually. But no. Look, fair play. He's brought it back. Continue on.
Literally 1 minute after we scored, Anthony had a very good opportunity to score. I thought it was a great save by Turner. It looked like because from the angle that he shot, it didn't look like Turner could see where the shot was coming from. He just got to it in the last second there. It was a great save. I thought that was when he hit it, I was like, that's going in, and then bang, I was like, oh my god, great save. We went third goal. No, the red card. The red card happened. We'll discuss red cards later, so we'll save that for a bit later.
That one was a red, 100%. He's
was a guy
falling down. Bruno's got the ball. He pulls him down. They pulls him down. That's
the guy at the back would have got to it. The volley guy.
No way. He's like a couple of meters away, man. Yeah.
I thought the ball was too far away from Bruno as well. That's what I didn't think it was going to fully sit perfectly for him. That's. I thought it was a red first seeing it. But when they did the VAR and I watched it, I was like, oh, they're not going to give a red, because I thought they were thinking, the person behind would have got to it, maybe the goalkeeper would have got to it, but they did give a red. Sort of changed everything. Oh, actually, not really. Didn't change much. I think after we scored the third goal, which was a few minutes later, Rashford's got us a penalty, which, in my opinion, sort of was a Slobosly one. Like, it was a little dive, but at the same time, it was a penalty, like he was saying last week. Like those sort of penalties are given.
It was definitely a dive. It was definitely a dive, but like you said, it was like the ref had no choice because he got touched. You know what I mean?
There's contact.
There's contact there.
Mild contact.
That's what I'm saying. Even the Slobosly one was even less contact, but because he got the contact and made it the dive, the ref had no choice. So I guess
the player.
Like, it's still soft, but you can't do anything.
the player attempts to get the ball, he gets none of the ball, but he gets the player. Like, I don't think there's a rule of like really how much contact there has to be. It's like if you make an attempt in the box and you don't get the ball, but you get the player, then it's a penalty. Like,
it's
if
like
they go down and make a meal of it, they have to give it.
Like, think of it like the analogy of a car crash. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a big impact or a small impact, you're still gonna cop it anyway. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess so.
Oh, still hard.
But I felt after we scored the third goal, I don't know what happened. We're 10 men down, and I felt like we let them back into the game. I think from the 80th minute onwards, and the game went to 103 minutes because it was 13 minutes at a time. It was 11, but stuff happened in between as well, so they mostly went to 13.
Jesus,
Well,
that's good, but
yeah, I felt it was good because there was heaps of time wasting. What was it called? 23 minutes from the 80th minute to the game finished. I felt like we let them back in it. We were dominating them the whole game with possession and in their own half, and then for some reason we just felt like switching back, going into defense, defending the goal, when I should have thought we should have tried to put another one on.
Did he make defensive substitutions?
Yeah, he took off Anthony and put Tomini on. But that was because Chris Wood and Alanga came on and they started doing like long balls into the box, booting it upfield, like just started playing Stoke tactics. But like that's what they're there for. Yeah, exactly. That's what Chris Wood's there for, because he's a big boy. A New Zealand man, but gladly he did nothing.
Sadly.
Gladly.
That player still got that.
What would you do if he came on, scored a double? Would you still like the guy? So it's club before country.
Yeah, club before country.
Yeah, same.
George. I was gonna say you can't really talk. You're the same.
100%.
Yeah. What do you mean?
That's mainly.
I don't even have to be in them circumstances.
Yeah. If anything, you're encouraging club over country.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, overall, I thought, like I said, from the 5th minute to the 80th minute, we dominated the whole game, kept them in their half, played well. I thought that's how we should bet. Still, at the same time, it's not in the Forest. We got Arsenal next week, but they didn't play well either. But it's at the Emirates.
Yeah. Like I said, I was watching that game, and to be fair, like, yeah, Arsenal haven't been impressive this season. I don't care what. I heard
Paulinho had a really good game.
Oh, bro, Paulinho had a really good game. They had this centre back as well. I can't remember his name. I was talking to Phil about the game. But he had a really great game. He got sent off, but he was going like just the whole Fulham as well. But he got sent off.
He had a really good game. Got sent off.
You would have appreciated that effort actually. But no, he actually had a really, because he was playing centre back, but he, it was like he had to do it, otherwise Arsenal will clear through on goal. It was like more of a sacrifice sort of thing. But anyway, just in general, Arsenal played terrible, in my opinion, considering they were at home, and Fulham were 10 men as well. So
see, sometimes the 10 men, like sometimes, as you've seen us doing the last 2 weeks, sometimes the 10 men thing can affect negatively, because
it's not even that.
The other team has nothing to lose now. It's just go for it. We're expected to lose. Let's see what happens. And if they can hold you out and stuff like that till late enough into the game, and then start attacking you real late on, then you start thinking like, what if they do grab a goal? And that the mental effect, I think, has an effect on.
I remember years ago, Arsene Wenger said this quote saying that he enjoys playing with 10 men, not enjoy, but thrives off it, because how he sees it is the team plays differently, right? So they're all about, like you said, they're in it to win it. They're all about countering, right? Because you're sitting there holding ball. And usually when a good team gets a man sent off, and you've got those good attacking players and players that can pass and stuff, it can be deadly. And he said he used to train his Arsenal squad, like, do just set trainings for 10 men training, you know what I mean? Just because he was like, yeah, he saw it as it was like an opportunity instead of a negative thing, you know what I mean? So probably a lot of coaches have like a system where they do, they implement.
Yeah, Klopp does.
Yeah, everyone for sure has to have one, especially at the top level in Premier League. But
next in the Emirates.
What's that? Sorry.
We have them next at the Emirates, so
that at the Emirates, is it?
We can't be conceding early again, or we won't be coming back.
No,
yeah,
not a good sign.
Well, look, it looks potential to be a good game because both of you aren't playing that well, like at your potential at the moment. But if it could be like this game will now bring out your best potential, both. You know what I mean? Because maybe you both have, you both will have to step it up because there's two good teams versing each other. But yeah, no, it should be an interesting one. I have a few questions about the actual, the actual game, if you don't mind me asking. Yeah, so did you think it was a lucky win or it was a good win? Because you said it was hard. It shouldn't have to be hard, but you still got the W.
I don't think it was a lucky win. I think they got 2 lucky goals.
Mm-hmm.
We made 100%.
Okay, yeah, that's how I think. Because some people are spinning it as it's a lucky United win, which, don't get me wrong, there was a few things that happened in there.
Yeah, in the essence of them conceding the 2 goals early and then still winning, that is considered
like that's to me, I consider that's a championship mentality because you've come back from that. You know what I mean? It's Nottingham Forest, whatever, but there's no easy games in the Premier League. We all know this. You know what I mean? Look, I was thinking the same thing. Look, I'll be honest with you. That I know we'll talk about red cards and stuff, but to me, that red card, I agree with you, was a bit questionable. Just for the fact that I'll tell you why. So I know this is a new rule, but my opinion is the whole reason of like that red card, last man back thing is usually when it's like kind of like a one-on-one situation, right? Like it's usually like the last defender on the attacker and he'll pull him back or something. Like that's usually they'll give that as a red card.
From behind or something.
Something like, and it's usually like it's mainly him and the last defender laying at the time, which I agree with. That's fair enough. With the two, so the Nottingham game, the United game and the Van Dijk call, I believe both of them were questionable. I know, again, it's a new rule or whatever, because like you said, like Sol said, Bruno wasn't actually close to the ball. And the other one with Van Dijk, there was no guarantee that, was it Isak? Yeah. Isak was going to, I mean, he would have, like, don't get me wrong, he has a great, amazing touch. I'm just saying, but it wasn't guaranteed that he was actually going to control the ball or whatever. And to me, it just feels like those two were very questionable red cards. And I feel a bit soft and in my opinion, not really good for the game, in my opinion. Because if they're going to be considered as last ditch defending tackles or whatever, then
so red cards in the game.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's going to be red cards in the game, and it's going to be like.
What's the difference then between if someone's on the edge of the box and they have the ball, and they're going to knock it past the defender and he fouls them? Is that not a last man challenge now? Because if you let him past you, he was going to run on with the keeper. It's not.
So what do you mean? He's on the onside, but he's on the side of like.
So say how City play, right? You know how you just put pressure on teams, you force them back. Say Foden gets the ball, and even the right backs and left backs are in line with the centre back, but if Foden goes to turn the centre back and then he trips him up, that wouldn't be a red card. It'd just be
it'd be a yellow card. Yeah, 100%.
But
100%.
But my opinion, if the Van Dijk, the other one I can kind of understand why it's a red, because I don't know, I haven't watched enough of it to be honest, but I watched one replay, and from the one replay I've seen, the guy, I don't know, I haven't seen how far the ball is away from Bruno, but to me it looks like Bruno is going to get to it, and he's one-on-one with the keeper, and the guy falls over and makes an attempt to pull him down as he's coming down. So effectively, he is going out of his way to make no attempt at the ball and just bring the player down. But it's just.
No, I agree. The challenge itself is bad, right? It's definitely bad, but it's not permitted, in my opinion, a red card. So that's why I think, they were a bit not lucky in that aspect, but just because, again, it happened in another game as well, and probably will happen throughout the season now that now we know this is happening. But
yeah,
I just feel like it kind of like not ruined Forest's chances of winning, right? Like, don't get me wrong, like you said, you're all over him. But like you said, they were pushing you. They were playing that Stoke ball, everyone behind. They could have pulled a result, you know what I mean? If they actually – and again, you aren't playing the best football at the moment. So that's why I was just like – because when I first saw that, because I've seen it, and I was like, at first I was like, oh, here we go, typical, Old Trafford, it's going to go to them. And then I saw it, I was like, actually – huh?
It was the VAR that sort of got me questioning it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was questioning as well. I was like, that's not fair. But anyway, yeah, either way, it was a good win for United, to be fair. Like, you did well. I don't think it was a lucky. Yeah, good for confidence into the next week, considering Arsenal drew their game, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I haven't really got much news except for we might be learning Cucurella.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Someone else as well, I heard. Didn't you look at someone else? I think it was from Barcelona. What's his name? Alonso, is it?
No. Sergio.
Sergio. Alonso, but nah.
Yeah, Alonso. That's what I said. From Barcelona.
I think we're going for Cucurella.
Okay.
He's surprisingly, man. Like, he's a good player, man. Like, I hated playing against Alonso.
Yeah, but he's too old, way too old now. Cucurella
might be old.
It's only for loan. Because I said, our two left backs are down at the moment, so I think we just need cover.
Yeah.
Cucurella under Potter was a freaking mad player. Like, the reason why we wanted to sign him was actually going hectic. You know what I mean? So there was a reason. He was a good player. Just maybe, Chelsea season, everyone went shit. You know what I mean? So you can't question him on that season.
Just say Martinez or Varane goes down. Mainly Martinez because he likes having a left-footed centre back. Last year he did play Luke Shaw at centre back, so you can move Luke Shaw into centre back. Have Cucurella on the left back if needed. That's only if needed. If we do get him on loan, it could be all right. I don't mind if we do get him, but I heard that it's going to be a little loan fee, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have to take his whole wages. So Chelsea doing Chelsea things, getting money for no one really. Get for a loan for what? How much do they pay for him?
They paid
66 million?
Yeah, 60 million or something like that.
Ridiculous.
60 million.
Because I remember we offered 45 or something, 45,
That's
and
Chelsea
then Brighton were like, no, and then Chelsea came in and did Chelsea, like you said, Chelsea things.
Because they got ripped off from Felix last year. But yeah, it's mainly everything.
They don't care. They never have cared about getting ripped off. They've got players and money spent over the years, trophies and stuff they've won.
I swear, it's like this ownership's like even worse than Abramovich, in my opinion. Not worse, but you know what I mean. Like they more spend him. Like Abramovich was crazy, but at least there was a plan with Abramovich. Not plan, but you know what I mean. Like he's got Mourinho, he got the best. But these guys are just like, let's just spend money on this guy because he's the best in this team. Yeah. Let's go spend the money on this team because everyone likes him.
The problem with Chelsea now is they've bought all this money, bought all these players, spent $1 billion, and they don't look any better really. They look worse.
I love it, to be honest, because
under Tuchel. Yeah, so do I. I hate Chelsea. Under Tuchel, there had been a direction. I didn't like playing them. I hated playing against them.
They played the Mourinho ball, very similar, but it was a bit more counter-attacking. But yeah, it was very important to play against them. But they had an identity. I definitely agree. Now it's just like, who the fuck is Chelsea?
You know what I mean? Until I haven't seen enough of them under Poch, like I'm sure Mourinho will give it a good go. But at the same time, Chelsea's a different dynamic of a club to Tottenham. A lot of good managers have gone to Chelsea and failed. Like, it's not like all the managers they've got have been terrible. So,
dude, they've had successful managers there, and they still
Tottenham, Graham Potter was good at Brighton. So the list goes on.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm just hoping for another few years of misery for them, because they definitely deserve it with the way they've been carrying on.
Yeah, 100%. No, like I said, I love that they're spending all this money and not actually doing anything with it, because then it defeats that whole argument. Like, City bought the league. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, then why isn't Chelsea buying the league?
Because they don't have a ball man named Pep Guardiola. That's why.
Yeah, thank you. That's right.
Yeah,
Sometimes it is a
but
tough manager.
look, definitely, don't get me wrong, he's a world-class manager, if not the best manager in the world, but he has a pretty large little kitty there going when he needs it, and
So do you.
seems
You've got
to
110
really.
million to spend on one player.
Do we? Because
Yeah.
I'm going to get to that later. I have my theories on this. Like, I reckon they'd probably just put the bid
because
in
I
knowing
know
it was never going to come.
you were willing to spend it
Hey.
on one player as well. Crazy, but
Don't
yeah.
start. You have done it as well.
I have no problem with it, but you're the one saying like, oh, there's a kit, and then it's like, well,
there's a big kitty there. You statistically go look at the spending and
yeah, no, I
outgoings
agree with you.
last.
They're spending.
Like,
look,
we've spent half of what you've spent, so you can't even.
100%. I definitely agree with
At
you.
the end of the day,
We've
that's
also,
what I'm saying.
but we've also.
You have a larger kitty. You have a larger kitty.
Oh no, look, I will agree with you there. We definitely have a large kitty, and we've definitely spent more on you. But you can't disagree that we've not spent well as. You know what I mean? Like
100%. Yeah, no way. Of course, he doesn't spend well. But I'm saying Pep gets any player pretty much he wants. He'll get, but he gets the right players. But I'm saying sometimes,
and I agree with that there. But then I'm going back to that argument where, like, for example, I'm not trying to banter your team soul, but United, the ones around down the road, they've been doing the same thing as us for the past 10 years now, and look where they are and look where we are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
their managers get the best players. Their managers get the, you know what I mean?
They had people like David Moyes managing the club for a bit.
Huh?
We finally just got a proper manager.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, you've had that resources as well, and you didn't make do of it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, yes, we had these resources, and yes, it's a lot more than a lot of others, but we still made do of it. And but yeah, look, at the end of the day, I can go on forever about this, but no, what I'm trying to say is, like, it just defeats that whole purpose. Like, because usually the whole thing was like, whoever spends the most wins, right? And yeah, that can be an argument for sure. But now it's not really the case, because look what we see. We see Chelsea spending billions, and then they're battling for relegation. So, may it continue. But, this leads to a good segue. Now we move on to the match of the week, in my opinion. Look, it shouldn't have been a tough game like your game, Sol, but let's get into it. City versus Sheffield.
Much of it, so you're gonna have to tell me.
Look, I watched most of it, and then you know what I mean. Like, yeah,
I watched the 25-minute highlight special.
Yeah, I'll get into it anyway, what happened and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my boys Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, City pulled through. Got the W. But yeah, no, look, it was a tough game. Look, what I said last week was Sheffield aren't going to outplay us, right? Like, we know this. We all know this, that Sheffield United are going to outplay us. But what they're going to do that they actually did pretty well was come and give us a game. But what I mean by that is a physical game. So they came in, they were aggressive. Their formation and lines in midfield were, perfect throughout the game. And to be honest, they were giving hell to Hull, most of for the first 40, 50 minutes of the match. You know what I mean? The three defenders were on him. There was literally a point where, I swear to God, there was a point where 3 or 4 players tackled him like it was a freaking gridiron tackle. I swear to God, no word of a lie. There's a highlight where 3 players literally all holding onto him, and he's falling down like Godzilla or something. It was hilarious because they're all short and stuff. But yeah, no, look, it was a tough game. They made it rough for us. It was pretty much, what you expect. Us have the whole possession and then them just defending, right? Come the second half. Actually, before I get to that, Haaland got a penalty. Yeah, I was about to say, we got a penalty just before the half was about to end. And then, the big Norwegian meat shield steps up, because that's how he is. He's our penalty taker, and sometimes the greats miss. He didn't have an update system. He didn't have the latest reboot on the penalties, so that's why he missed. But look, at the end of the day, sometimes this happens. It was honest, like he beat the keeper, but he just hit the post, so it was just a shit go. He didn't have the best. He didn't have the best game, in my opinion. But look, he still got a goal at the end of the day, and like that's what I was about to lead to.
From what I look,
game.
What's that? Sorry.
You did say that we were going to kick your team around.
Yeah, bro, and they did. That's what they did. That's what I was saying last week. If they do that, if they come and just kick the shit out of us and like give it to us and just play defensive as hell, then they might get something. And fair play, they almost did. But like I said, we'll lead on.
I was speaking to you earlier about that, and any other given day, and next week you give Haaland the chances that he had today, and he scores a hat trick.
Oh, easy.
So it's like one of the things. Look, that's where most of your goals come from. If he has an off day and doesn't hit the target like he normally does, like he generally doesn't have too much to do with the build-up play and stuff. Like he's probably getting a bit more involved than he was, but doesn't really touch the ball.
Most of his goals, I think there was like a stat where most of his goals are one touch. Like it's just not even. He doesn't even take a touch. He just scored.
Yeah, it gets maybe 4 or 5.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm proving your point. Like that's what I'm saying. Like he won't even touch the ball. It'll just be like the ball come to him and he'll shoot. Like
him shoot. Him get him freaking get his leg in some position that I've never seen a human do, and then flick it, and then the thing just goes like a bullet off his foot. And you're like, how does he do that?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Could have just headed it, man. You didn't have to.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, he does some weird. Like sometimes I think he's Mr. Fantastic, the way he can just bend his leg and stuff. But no, like you said, I agree with you. If any other day, City win 3-4, and then I actually go up in the prediction league. Sol doesn't have to get wipes that smirk off his face. But no, look, it was definitely a tough game. It was definitely a tough game for us. Look, and fair play to Sheffield, man. Like fair play to the Blades. They actually put a fight up for us, and they put excuse the pun, but they put us to the sword, and it was a good fight. It was a good fight, and a good look. I enjoyed that win. It was I called it like an old school win where we fought hard for it. You know what I mean? It was back and forth. And yeah, let's talk about Rodri. The
way your team celebrated the second goal, it looked like you celebrated it like it was a good win.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't because it was, they made it hard for us and stuff. You know what I mean?
When you get half to death all game.
Yeah. Especially like you can outskill these guys, but nothing's working because, like you said, you're getting kicked the shit out of. They're just blocking everything. Like nothing's working out, and then they get like a lucky goal. I was gonna say. So before we get to the Rodri goal, they score a goal in the last 5 minutes of the game. And oh my God, Kyle Walker forgot that he was playing for like City and went back to his boyhood club and decided that he was gonna go. Oh, it's just the boys. And do one of the most ridiculous, outrageous back heels I've ever seen my whole life. Stops the ball, gives it straight back to them, and then you could see him. He's literally on the floor like this the whole time. And he could have got up and actually come back in. And if he did, actually, the goal would have been called off because apparently the striker was in an offside position when they took the shot. But because Kyle Walker was, like outside on the field, like on the pitch, and just stood there, it put him on side. Like that's a rule. I didn't even know that. I was like, you're kidding me. So he pretty much, I was listening there. I was like, bro, you definitely did this on purpose. But then fair play to him, maybe 2 minutes later, like I said, down the other end, bro, the ball's about to go out. It was like a dead ball, like the cross, like someone crossed it in and it went past everyone. The ball's about to go out and you just see Kyle Walker pull up, you know what I mean? Like, save the ball, He realized he was playing for City again and then, saved it, got past the defender and then put a cross in. And then, Rodri made us freaking go wild.
Phil Foden with that terrible touch.
Good finish.
Phil Foden did it on purpose. What do you mean terrible touch? What are you talking about? But no, it was a beautiful finish. And to be honest, he should have scored he should have scored earlier because we had a few more other chances. But look, at the end of the day, like you said, it was a rough win, and we got it. Like, and now we're still I think the only team that's still got 100% still, and we move on because it's going to be a tough season. It looks like it's going to be hard to call. But yeah,
do you reckon it's going to be the Invincibles? Do you reckon they're going to do it? 3 games in.
3 games in, bro. You're talking to a City fan, not an Arsenal fan. Come on. No. We don't do that stuff. Bro, the first time we actually went for it, like when the Aguero season, the first time we went for a title charge, bro, it took us to the second last game of the season to us chant, we're going to win the league. Now you're going to believe us. Arsenal fans took them 10 games. You know what I mean? And they still lost. But, anyway, each to their own. But, I just want to talk about Rodri again. Just a quick shout out to him, man. He's amazing. He's honestly the complete CDM. I know I'm going to probably keep talking about him, and I know I spoke about him, I think, our first episode. But he had an amazing game anyway, so why not talk about him? But, man, he's just a clutch player, man. He's just a complete player. Yeah, I honestly can't think of a CDM we've ever had in this club that's been like him. Like he's almost similar to
Fernandinho was pretty good.
No, well, this is what I was about to say. So this is what I was about to say. So he's got the defense. No. So listen, he's got the defense side of Fernandinho, right? So he plays very defensive style of Fernandinho, right? But then now what he's doing as well, he's got this little attacking flair that Yaya Toure used to do. Like he'll do those runs. He'll put like a mad pass in now. So he's like I said, he's like the complete CDM. And I think we were talking about this off air. He started off slow when he came to City. Like he was, I remember there was some City fans even question like, bro, sign this guy, freaking 50 million. What the hell? Well, he's never going to replace Fernandinho. And then all of a sudden you just saw him season by season, just gradually, rise and go up. And now I think we're going to be talking about him after years to come, how good he was. You know what I mean? And again, I just want to give him a quick shout out because, we were talking about, we give the flowers to the strikers, to the wingers, even the midfielders, but sometimes the defenders and the CDMs don't get the much love they deserve. And fair play to him. And Cover had a great game as well. I just want to give him a quick shout out. Won't speak too much about him, but he just had a great game. I think he was our man of the match. In my opinion, he just had a good, complete game. And the big talking point in all this was, why no Foden in this game? Honestly, if we had Foden...
Didn't he start?
No, he didn't start. And people were...
Who was the front 6?
So we had Haaland, Grealish, Bernardo Silva, Alvarez.
Alvarez started.
Yeah, Alvarez started. And then Foden only came on for the last that last 5 minutes when Sheffield United scored. He only came in then. And then, look, and even before that play, he did this passing play with Haaland where they nearly scored and he almost scored as well. I think he set up Alvarez and Alvarez nearly scored. So he did he created 3-4 chances in the space of 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Some City fans were complaining, why not start him? You know what I mean? He's not that young player anymore where we have to put him on the bench and whatever. We can trust him, And like I said from last week, how I was lauding him, saying he was the best player in our team and he's going to take that KDB role, whatever, to being put on the bench. It was a bit, look, we got the win at the end of the day, and I'm never going to question Pep. Pep is God. He's got as much bank in there that I'll never question.
Mahrez got a hat trick. It's the same thing to Mahrez.
Yeah, no, it's just but with Foden, but the thing is, right? I would get that with Mahrez because, like you said, we had all our players fit, so he was rotating. With this, not all our players are fit. To be honest, and the best person playing, especially when we have these injuries, he'll usually play the best players in those positions. In my opinion, Foden was our best, 10, cam roll, whatever you call it, last week. And then, just to put him on the bench. And then he comes on and does that as well. Yes, that assist was not really assist, but still, like I said, he got involved, put, you know what I mean? Made the, and changed the game. What's that? Sorry?
Do you have a midweek
game? No, we don't. We don't have a midweek game. We've got Fulham next week. So it's not even super like he's rested him for something or whatever. Like that's because I thought that too. I looked up and I was, I agree. I did the same thing. And I was like, what the hell? But yeah, it was just a bit questionable. But look, maybe I think it's just like a mentality thing with Pep. You know what I mean? Because we've heard it with other like. I've heard it like, with other like when other players have had interviews from other clubs and stuff. He's just like this. He's just weird like that. Sometimes I think it's like a mentality thing. Like he wants you to work for it. Like he takes Haaland off when Haaland could possibly break the best goaling record in one game and shit, and takes him off after 5 goals because why not? You know what I mean? And there's still 60 games. You know what I mean?
He didn't want him to break Messi's record.
Yeah. No, it was actually funny. Like the week after. He scored, I think, 4 goals or something again, or something ridiculous in the FA Cup against Burnley, and then they're like, "Oh, so why'd you take Haaland off again?" He goes, "Oh, because I didn't want him to break the Messi record in the FA Cup." I was like, "God damn, I love this guy. He's so good." But yeah, no, look, it was a tough game, but no, I just wanted to touch up on that, and I don't know if you had anything else to say about the game or if you thought that as well. But yeah, other than that. We move on.
No, just really like from what I've seen on the quick 25 minutes of highlights that I watched, it seemed to have the majority of the opportunities.
Yeah, like I said to you.
Like I said, any other day Haaland scores a hat trick at least. Just one of them days, like he scores a vast majority of your goals. If he doesn't score or has an off day, then your team's probably not going to score that much because look, you've lost tomorrow's, and unless, like you said, you're hoping, Phil Foden would pick up the mantle a bit, but he gets benched. Grealish is awesome at creating stuff, but at the same time, he hasn't scored that many goals for you guys.
Yeah, so, he's not really a goal scorer. He's definitely creation.
He's definitely what he does, even if he doesn't actually provide the assist, is he draws when he gets going down that wing. He draws at least 2 players over to him.
Oh, easy.
And like the first player's not getting the ball off him. The second one might, or you're giving him a foul, or he's quickly moving that ball on, and then that opens up your defense because he's just sucked in 2 players to try and get the ball off him.
And not even that, he draws the foul as well, gets us in great position.
That's what I said. Either you get the foul in a great position, or he releases that ball, and then the whole defense is opened up. And so, it's one of them players. I hate him, but he's a good player. And like literally, like you want to talk about a player who knows the amount of contact it takes to bring you down. He's gold medalist. Like that guy, Jack Grealish.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's why so much players hate him. You know what I mean? Like, cause they're like, he goes down so easy, but like he's the master at that. Like you said, he's so good at having the ball close to his feet that you think you're gonna challenge him, and then like he puts his foot over it, and then boom, you kick him instead, or he gets past you, like you said. Yeah. But look,
he's not overly fast.
Yeah, but he's not even pacey.
Control is fast, and his ball movement is very fast.
Yeah, definitely.
And like you said, he keeps it close to him, but
close
enough to you where you think, you think I'm going to get this ball. You lunge in, and he's like, "Nah, there he is. Next, I'm going. See you later."
No, that's exactly how he assisted Haaland. That's literally what you're saying. He played the he tricked 2 defenders. I don't know if you saw it. There were 2 of them come to him, and then he just flicks it to the side and then chips it. Yeah. And it was crazy, and then just a simple header for Haaland.
It wasn't no massive amount of trickery, but because for the whole game, he would have had that left back or that right back going making challenges and not getting the ball, and then it's in the box, and you go he's the last player you want in the box to really go 1-on-1 with in the Premier League, I reckon.
Well, they had to make a switch from because the right back that was playing got a couple of yellow cards, and then in the second half they had to make the switch because he was fouling Jack Grealish too much, and they were scared to pin. But that's what he does great. And like you said, we move on. It was a solid win at the end of the day, and 3 points. And like I said, we're the only team now to still hold a 100% record, and hopefully next week we have a great game against Fulham. I actually call it the Friendship Derby because like I said, I have a great friend of mine that supports Fulham, and I watch it with him every time we get a chance, and I'll be probably watching it with him this week. But I'll be looking forward to it.
Did you see the pitch invader?
Yeah, bro. Fair play to Haaland, right? You know what I mean? Like he full like hugged him back. A lot of people say like I seen like so. A lot of people like people usually pitch invaders cop stick and fair play they should like that shouldn't be lauded pitch invaders. It's usually like get off the pitch. I want to watch the game.
Injured his back or something. Like he could have jumped on him wrong.
Yeah, look, they can definitely what do you mean? Wasn't it what your team? They got a pitch invade. I think it was Jojo or United. I think
Jacobs.
Yeah, Jacob. Then someone like fall into your team, like one of your players, and like they full slit them, or like the fan, and they hurt their legs and stuff. I remember something like that happened. So yeah, there is a possibility that happened. But look, in the rare occasion, there's like a moment like that happens, and like again, fair play to Haaland, he didn't take it because a lot of other players would be like, for an elbow in there, did the Tekken grab, King's freaking overhead throw and shit. But no, look, at the end of the day. Fair play to him. And it was just a funny moment. And a lot of people I've seen say, like, banned for life, but worth it because he just got the best pictures of his life and shit. And it's like, what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I probably would have done the same. If I seen Haaland, it was like there in front of me, I would have been like, yeah, come here. Yeah. But look,
probably.
like, so, yeah, worth it. But look, fun, it was a fun moment. But like I said, it could have went south, but thank God it didn't. And yeah, we move on. And now we move on, I guess, to the actual game of the week, and it became a game of the week. Actually, usually Liverpool and Newcastle have great games. It's always usually down to the last minute, it's the last wire of the game and shit. So, and a lot of controversy in this game as well. But yeah, I know. I mean, we did touch up a bit about the Van Dijk stuff with that, but we'll talk about it more. But yeah, let's get into it. Joey, 6 times. Take it away, my son.
So,
tell me.
How do I feel?
Yeah.
Well, first thing that really annoyed me was Trent getting a yellow card. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Right near the sideline.
I have something to say about it, but we'll leave that to the end.
And Anthony Gordon drops the shoulder in the back of Trent like a little grub he is. It's a free kick there. The ref decides to just let the little rat bag get away with it. Trent throws the ball away. But at the end of the day, he threw it virtually in the direction of Anthony Gordon, who's a professional footballer, who's, seemed to have quite a good reaction speed. I'm sure he could have just put his leg out and stopped the ball, but the little twat doesn't. And lets the ball roll off, gets a yellow card. Then couple minutes later, it goes past Trent, feels the fucking finger touch him, drops to the floor like he's been shot. The sniper was out in the stands. Carrying on. Yeah, they wanted Trent to get the red card. Like, at the end of the day.
What do you mean?
I think it. Yeah. Do you not think it was a red?
For Trent.
Yeah, for Trent.
Pushed him.
No way, bro.
What
do you mean?
I disagree. I don't think Van Dijk's was a red, but I think definitely Arnold's was a red for sure. And I'll tell you why.
No way. Do you think so? You just reckon that you're just allowed to get shoulder dropped in your back while the ball's running out? That's not even a free kick.
No, I'll agree with you there. That
no, that. So if you're agreeing in that, then he doesn't get the yellow there because he gets the free kick, so he's not going to throw the ball away.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't get the red card. So you can't agree with that.
But he's still. But the thing is, he's got the yellow. Look, I'll agree with you.
This is what I think. I think, to be honest, if it didn't happen so close together, so close together, and the ref didn't just realise that, I probably fucked that call up and let him get away with it, then he would have given him a red. Mm-hmm. But I think there's probably a bit of sympathy from the ref regarding sending him off so quickly. And at the end of the day, fuck.
No, I agree with you. I think it wasn't.
Did you see Rashford's one? Did you see Rashford's one?
No, what happened with Rashford? Sorry.
He got a yellow card for throwing the ball as well. But if you see it,
yeah, no.
Camera, the two Nottingham players clash into each other, and then Rashford runs around, gets the ball, and he gets a free kick, and then he's like going like, "What the fuck?" And then he throws the ball, and then he gets a yellow card for it. So if them dumbasses didn't clash together, he wouldn't have got a yellow card. It's the same as Arnold's one.
Yeah. No, look, I agree. I think that the first yellow it was a soft yellow. Yes, I agree with
It
you.
was
In
a
my
soft
opinion,
yellow. I thought it was a
in
soft
my
yellow
opinion,
as
he
well.
didn't even throw the ball away. The whole thing about that is just when when they chuck it, or like they kick it away.
Rashford actually
he rolled it.
through it.
Yeah, that's
He
I'm agreeing
literally
with
fucking
you.
rolled
I'm
it,
agreeing
mate.
with you on that aspect. I'm saying like that was soft, right? But he still got the yellow. What I'm saying is, okay, we're going by the rules now. He's got that yellow. That second challenge, he's any day of the week, that's another yellow. You know what I mean? But I don't know why he hasn't given it. But like you said, I think it's because it was so close. It was such a short period of time. Like what? It was 2-3 minutes after that, the first initial yellow.
Even.
Not even. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So what? Maybe let's just say, for example, like argument say 80, 90 seconds in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's why and then he sort of tracked back on his thing, going like, well, I can't give him another yellow for something so small. Because like you said, it was a small shoulder, but it's still a yellow every day of the week.
And
like that's what I said. Like that Fulham player, that's what he copped the yellow for, the second yellow. You know what I mean? That one I told you about, the one in the Arsenal game. It was a bit more. It was more of an obstruction. Don't get me wrong, but he still got the second yellow, and it was definitely in different intervals of play. That's for sure. But he still got a yellow for that. You know what I mean? And then got sent off.
Yeah. And then at the same time, how Joe Linton's been able to go the whole game, just taking chunks out of everyone and not get a yellow. It's ridiculous. Was too. Some of the fouls he committed, like I've seen at least 2 fouls that were both yellow card challenges. Like in my opinion, both from behind. Some no attempts to get the ball. Even the way he was going in for the ball, like he was like stamping and come in with one with his studs up, and it's like, well, that's a yellow card or no, just a free kick. It's if you're sending Van Dijk off for, they can look, he got the player, but.
Yeah, no, look, I gave you my opinion about that. I think same as the Nottingham Forest one, it was a questionable one. Yeah.
Again, I think this is now, twice in 3 weeks. Pretty simple ball back to Trent. Not the best ball, but something you'd expect a Premier League player to be able to control. I don't know if it was just the head of the situation before him. Maybe his head wasn't right in the game and just miscontrolled the ball. Gordon's onto it like a flash. Again, down then, Trent had hold of his shirt pretty light. If he's going down off the first one, then he should have went down on that one because he would have got Trent sent off. But they scored a goal, but still. Runs off with it, I don't think he meant to put it through Alisson's legs, but he did. And he scored, I reckon, against the general run of play, really.
I'm not trying to banter you, but I think he was Newcastle's best player in that game.
Yeah, it was probably. Yeah, him or Tonali was pretty good as well.
Tonali, Almiron had a pretty decent game as well, but he should have probably put 2 away. At least one he should have put away. Not the save. I'm not even the save. I'm talking about the one. I think it was one. Was it no? There was another one where it came over and he literally skied it, and he was like right in front of the goal. Yeah. So he had 3 chances. Yeah, because he hit the post twice. Actually, that's all right.
Then obviously, shortly after conceding, Van Dijk gets the ludicrous red. I don't think it was a red.
You think it's ludicrous red? So I actually don't have. I didn't get your opinion.
But this is what I want to add in, right? So the Premier League referees this season have come out and released a statement saying only intentional fouls in the penalty box on a player through on goal will be punished with a red card. If it is deemed that a genuine attempt is being made to play the ball, then the punishment will only be a yellow card. So, literally, Van Dijk makes contact with the ball and his foot at virtually exactly the same time. Where's the red card there? He's like George said, hasn't even controlled the ball yet.
But he's come from behind. He's the last player who's come from
He was behind because he wasn't behind. Listen, he wasn't behind
What's
to
behind
begin with.
him?
Because at the last second, as Van Dijk's making the challenge, he's gone over the ball as a good striker does, knowing he can't get the ball without fouling me. It wasn't behind him initially. They were like right next to each other. Good striker, put his body in between the ball. Van Dijk made the challenge, gets the ball, gets his ankle, yellow card.
Gets
Not
his
a
ankle in
He
the
still had
ball,
game
not the
control.
ball in the ankle.
No, it gets enough of the ball.
That's a red. Came from
Not a red.
behind, last man, goal scorer.
Not a red.
So do you think they deserve 2 reds, Sol? Is that what you're saying? They deserve 2 reds in that game? Okay, interesting.
I know.
Interesting.
I'm just saying.
Anana should have been straight red in the first game.
Should have.
Didn't even get anywhere near the ball, bro. Just smashed 2 players.
You always just got your red goggles on.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh, the red goggles are out. Here we go. It sounds like I've got Man City goggles, you got the red goggles. What goggles are you wearing, Sol?
I'm devil.
Wonder.
Oh, the Devils, though. Okay. Nah, look, yeah. I was enjoying your little debate, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, I would have wanted to continue, but look, look, I you know my opinion. I think it wasn't, but I think the Nottingham one wasn't as well because they're both similar. But
yeah,
like you said, you know when you brought out the transcript and the receipts, what they were saying the rules. It's what they're saying. You know what I mean? Like it has to be the last player or whatever. But I just think
don't come out and say that's what you're gonna do. Don't come out. It wasn't from behind. It wasn't like he was through and he was behind him. They were literally right next to each other. Isaac shielded the ball. But okay, if that's from behind, then it's not a goal scoring opportunity because he's facing the sideline. So he's going to run towards the sideline. They were shoulder to shoulder. He shields it well, puts his body in between it. The goal is they're still equal distances to the goal.
And how we know
shoulder to shoulder?
How we know Alisson's not going to run out?
If you get them shoulder to shoulder, they're still equal distances to the goal mouth. It's not like he's facing his back because he's facing the sideline. Dragging the ball with his left foot, shielding the ball. It's not like a classic one-on-one with the keeper. Guy comes from behind and takes the guy out. See, the way you're wording things here is just ludicrous, as you call it. Anyway, they move on. So that happens. Huh?
Did your man Stevie Nicol on ESPN think so? Isn't he looking for Liverpool?
He's a Liverpool legend, isn't he?
Heaps of players have played for Liverpool and they still jump on and talk trash. He probably left and tried to join Real Madrid and it never worked out for him like a lot of them have. But anyway, anyway.
I thought he was a Liverpool sweetheart, lad.
We're playing. Look, it would technically be a red, but then they've come out and said that this is what they're going to do, and if that's what you're going to do, it's not a red.
Just a quick question: Have you challenged the same as thing, or no? It's just straight red. It's going for the 3 games or whatever ban.
Whatever. I would say that.
Is it 2 games or 3 games? Okay.
I haven't seen anything about challenging it. At the end of the day, we got off the McAllister one. They're not going to admit they stuffed up 2 games in a row to the same team.
Yeah, I imagine that.
Even if they are slightly wrong, they've got enough terms technically because they're just going to say it's a last minute challenge. I know exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
They at the same time they've released a statement saying they're going to do this is how they're going to make calls, and they're not making them calls. It's so.
Oh well.
You're saying these are your standards, and you're not following your standards. So, we need some rest in this league, man. It's been honestly the start of this season. The amount of dodgy calls and just ridiculous stuff. It's honestly happening in almost every single game, and
I think
they need to really step it up, man. It's shocking. They've got all the tools now.
Yeah. No, I was about to say one of the pundits was saying, I can't remember who, saying they should have neutrals in the refs, ref the games, right? And then the people in the VR boxes be neutrals. What that means is maybe a former ex-player, someone that's not an actual because did you hear about Mike Dean coming out and releasing a statement saying like last season the Chelsea Tottenham game, right? Remember when Cucurella's hair got pulled, the Hairgate saga happened when he got his hair pulled by Fingo, and that all thing happened and whatever. Apparently, Mike Dean released a statement saying, "I knew it was like a foul. It was clear, but the whole game, my mate, whatever the ref's name was getting stick and getting thing, and I didn't want to offend him and like make it hard on him, so I didn't want to call him over." Which is absolutely mind-blowing to me because, in my opinion, that's ridiculous. No other job. Like, yeah, you look out for your mates and stuff, but it all comes about professional. Bro, I've been in many jobs where I'm working with my mates, but you still be professional at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
The thing is, right?
Especially a referee.
A job like that, you know the post-show, you know that this is not just a game for many people. Like, this is, lots of people.
This is their livelihood for the week and stuff,
You've literally made millions of people depressed for 2 days because you didn't want to.
No, not even that. Think about the fans that travelled or whatever, paid the money.
I'm saying, technically, it's them too, them especially. But
that's what I'm saying. Like all that shit.
You've made millions of people devastated because you didn't want to offend your mate. Down on the field.
Yeah, no, they should give, like, that's what I'm saying. They should do something where it's either it's going to be neutral, it has to be something like that, or give, like, ex-players. Get me in the box. No Liverpool player will ever get a red card ever. Oh, my God.
Every single time we get in the box to be United, penalty.
Yeah, penalty. What do you mean? The game just started. The players are just walking on.
It's still not worse. Remember a few years ago, the game finished, and VAR go, no, there was a penalty to Man United. Restart the game, let Bruno take the penalty.
And they still
won the game?
No? Oh, no, that was against Brighton, wasn't it?
Yeah, they won
the game against Brighton? Yeah, I think I remember that. I remember that happening again, and then Bruno missed. Didn't that happen again?
Oh, ridiculous. But anyway, back to the game.
No, back to the game.
For the next, pretty much the rest of the game, obviously we're just making it hard for Newcastle. We didn't want to concede a second, and we had, 2 men up front, and we're just trying to really be a hard unit to break down. Look, they still had their chances. Fantastic save by Alisson. Best goalkeeper in the world, I reckon, in my opinion, and he just keeps pulling out saves. It's every game lately for the last, I'd say, 6 months. If we didn't have him in the sticks, we would have. I don't even know if we'd be in the Europa League this year. But that was just a crazy save. If we concede that, it's dangerous territory. St. James Park would have just went wild. But as the game progressed...
That's a good ball.
Great technique, 100%. Then he had one, I think, like literally 30 seconds later, and then shanked it. I seen him get it again on his chest, and I was like, oh, not again, man. He's not going to save another one. And then I was like, thank God he shanked it. And then, look, he had a bucket load of chances. If he had a bit more composure, I think he would have scored a couple, but didn't. And honestly, Newcastle was super aggressive in their challenges and how they were coming in and just even running around. Like, you didn't get any. There was no like just letting you have the ball. It was just coming to back, shouldering you. Like the ref let them get away with a fair bit, I reckon, especially considering they're playing 10 men. Like, I don't know, it was just pretty wild. Kieran Trippier walking around like he's the biggest man on the planet. If I ever see him, I'll slap him in the head so hard. Honestly, he's a grub, mate. And put a good cross in. That's all you're good for.
What's your beef with Kieran Trippier? What happened? Was it because of this game, or just in general? You don't like him as a player?
Look, I've never really been a fan of him. like, I think it all stems back to him getting the nod ahead of Trent as England right back. I'm like, come on, man. Can't even compare them to. Not even in the same sentence. But, yeah, so we just held back then.
You know, he's a United fan as well.
Good. That explains a lot.
I was about to say maybe that's why. Yeah, it tells why maybe you hate him.
Yeah.
Gotta deal with these two every week.
And then we made a couple of substitutions, brought on a very young centre back for a debut, which is he must be good. Klopp must have seen something in him that he really likes for him to bring him on in that aspect of the game. Then we took Endo off as well. I think McAllister had a really good game considering circumstances. Szoboszlai again, so much energy, running around the field non-stop. But yeah, then the man comes on.
Darwin.
He got to the big man.
Fair play. Fair play to
what
him.
a man. What a
Go,
man.
you take it away because it's your player. Go, take it away. But I have a few things to say about him.
Super happy about it. Super happy for him. For him. He deserves it. I think he's... When we played Benfica in Anfield, he absolutely carved us two pieces. So I know, and that was Liverpool prime. Like, we won the game, but every single time he got the ball, I was like, nah.
My brother said something for...
Get the ball off him.
Like, Liverpool's signing policy is if a player scores against them in Anfield, they signed him. And I was like, actually, you know what? That's true. Because Diaz scored against you. So you went and signed him. Figo scored, you said, dude, that a masterclass against you. So you went and signed. The cops are like, oh, wait, they can score against us? It's fine. But
pretty much. I think he makes a judgment of
obviously, that's not the reason.
Last season was a bit of a letdown, but for the last 5 years, we've probably been arguably the second best club in the world, I reckon, all round. Maybe a shout for Real Madrid in there, and then I was third. Obviously, Man City have been the best; they've won the most. But we've been the only team that's challenged down in the last 5 years, if anything. I think if you play good against us, I think Klopp's like, all right, well, that game he killed Van Dijk. So I was looking at him, and when we were linked with him, I was like, yes, man, I've seen that guy. I know what he could do. I think he had 3 offside goals that were just offside, and he scored 2. But I'm like, if that guy took a step half a second later, he would have 5 goals. And the finishes were one of them was like a dink over Alisson, and then he put the backspin on the ball, so it hit the floor and then just rolled into the net. And you could tell he meant it. He went the way he hit the ball. I was like, man, he's got sauce, this guy. And then I think the comparisons with Haaland just really put his confidence down. So I'm definitely happy he scored the goals. You could see it meant a lot to him.
I want to give a big shout out to his first goal. Not even his first goal, the celebration. I don't know if you saw it. So the first goal, he celebrates, he does the knee slide, whatever. They're all excited. And as he's getting up, and the cameras catch it perfectly, literally, and this, my respect went for, my opinion about DarWIZZY. I've always had that little soft offering where I've told you the story, but yeah, so this is where my respect for DarWIZZY just went. Not even the 2 goals. Not even that. If I'm putting my host goggles on and taking off my Man City goggles off, and you know what I mean. But this is where my respect went like this. So yeah, he's stepping up. He's just celebrating. I think everyone's all excited, but they still want to get back or whatever. And as he's getting up, I think some of the Newcastle fans, one of them are giving him, how the Geordies are. You could imagine.
And he does this.
Yeah, he gives him a wink and then a kiss. And the camera captures it perfectly and just sort of phases out. And I swear, when I first seen that, I generally lolled. I laughed out loud. I was that is the funniest shit. Because like we're like sometimes like Haaland and Grealish do similar shit when they when we waste time, they'll like when they do that he'll get like a smirk. And I love when players do like, because it's like it shows their human side. You know what I mean? It's like they're still fighting, because we we do that in park soccer, we do that with each other and stuff. We're all feeling, so it just gives that like it shows players still have that personality. But and again, I just thought that was hilarious. But sorry to get sidetracked. I just wanted to mention that because you might have missed it. But it was just funny.
That was after the second goal.
Was that the second goal or the first goal?
Second goal.
Okay, well either way, so
the first goal he done the.
That right.
And then the second goal, he done that. Like when he scored the goal, you seen him running, and you've seen all the Newcastle fans who went. Look, guess what? The Wanker just buried John. We got 3 points against 10 men at St James's Park. So look, very happy with the end result. But Van Dijk's going to be out for 3 games. It's going to be a massive loss. Look,
does DarWIZZY start? Does DarWIZZY start in your opinion next game, or do you still think keep it how it is for now? Not that it was a lucky goals, but like it was just. Do you think it was just like a one-off thing? It's not going to happen again in his next game, or too early to start, or give him a chance and let him maybe even like sort of progress and even get maybe even a run going or something? Like, what do you think? Do you think like do you get him?
Personally, start the man, let him cook. You know what I mean? Just say, look, you've done enough, and because even in the last couple of games,
I don't know who they got.
Who have we got this week? Honestly,
I don't know. I think it's someone.
I haven't checked. I've just been for the last week. I've just been so focused on this Newcastle game because for me, I thought it was going to be a very tough game. I'm obviously back the boys to win. I think I was the only one here.
Yeah, you were.
No, you were. Fair play. I don't think you were. I don't think you guys were going to put that effort in, especially with 10 men. Like, again, another championship.
So next up, we got Villa at Anfield.
Okay. They actually won their game as well against Vincent Kompany's Burnley, so they did all right.
Yeah, they did all right. But, very happy for him. Just 2 good goals. Look, when we bought him, he had the highest finishing percentage in all of Europe top 5 leagues. So he can finish. I just think he's a very confidence-based player. Puts probably a lot of pressure on himself. The price tag that came with him, the age is all a factor. But, I reckon start him, see what he can do. It gives us a dimension with how fast he is. And, like, even when we were starting him last year, he was getting, 3 opportunities a game. But he was just missing all 3, to be honest. He starts burying them. Even I think last season he got 15 goals, and it was considered a full season for him. And I think he missed the most goal scoring opportunities in the Premier League. So
he did miss a fair few.
15 goals, and you put a bit of confidence on them goal scoring opportunities, then you've got yourself a player who's going to score quite a fair few amount of goals. And you pair that with the goals and assists that Salah's going to put forward, and you're in the top 4 there. That's top 4. You know what I mean? That's enough goals to get you where you want to get, as long as you've got a pretty good defense.
Look, if he can put in the same, like, not performance, just the same sort of form that he did have at Benfica, then he could have easily a 25 to 30 plus goal season in all competitions. Easy. Just depends. But like you said, this could either be his takeoff point now, like this is where he starts now and becomes what the Darwin Núñez you paid for and wanted him to be, or it can either just be like back to square one or whatever. But like in my opinion, I think I made that joke with you before. He actually played like Haaland, and Haaland played like him. But no, look, if he can put in those results, and I think Klopp should start him next week, because like that will actually boost his confidence, whatever. Even if he doesn't have like the best game, doesn't put in that performance, just to get him get his boosting, play with the players. You know what I mean? Like get
just
that connection.
To know that,
Yeah, you know what I
just
mean.
to give him the mentality of if I do come on and perform, I will get played and I will start. So
yeah,
and he knows all he has to do is put the ball in the net, and
yeah, no,
he gets enough
100%.
opportunities. Like, and he always has. There's never been a game we played that kid, and he hasn't
Yeah, I
mixed
thought
the
it
goal.
was 2 goals straight. Today, the first goal was a fucking beautiful goal, and then second goal, Salah's ball was even better.
Yeah, Sol. Actually, we didn't talk about that. Sal's ball was beautiful, but it was the Darwin Nunes
I think
show, I
that
guess.
two like
It was a good finish, but that ball
beautiful passes in 3 games from Salah. Like,
I think, did you mention it in the first episode? You were saying how Salah's changing his game now. He's not playing like that. Like he's more of an assister, like like more of a playmaker type. Like don't get me wrong, he always had that in his locker. I'm not saying he wasn't like that, but he's like you said. I think you mentioned that you were saying like he's doing that, and you can see it now. Like fair play to him. I didn't think he'd had didn't think you had that in your locker, son. But fair play.
Oh yeah, honestly, the first few seasons I thought Salah was like the type of player who doesn't have the best passing, and he did miss a fair bit, even though he scored heaps. He did miss a couple, and like I just thought he's a player that had a bit of like very fast, incredible agility and ability to shift his body and twist and turn and good ball control in them situations. But I never really thought he was one to provide like real good clinical passes.
Yeah,
and just
for
cut
sure.
defenses open. But look, the last like year and a bit, he's been doing it like a fair bit, and then now it's just like
I think it's it could be like because as you get older, you realize your body can't do what it used to do, right? So you got to like the best players usually switch their play style. You know what I mean? So like if he's now going, okay, I can't make those 20, 50 sprints in one game like I used to, right? But now what I can do, right? I'll practice my passing game and my vision and all that stuff and help the team that way. And that's
15 goals.
Yeah, I reckon that would be just as good as the 30 plus goals or he gets a season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think last season he got 30 goals. So like 30 something goals and like 14 assists. Like I definitely know he got over 10 assists. He scored that many goals. So I'm sure he can do it again. Again with the age thing, like I don't know, with Salah looks after his body so well. I don't think it's even down to the age thing. I think it was just down to last season not having Firmino on the field all the time, and the way we were playing was different to how we used to play.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I guess Firmino was more of that type of role than Salah.
He'd drop, and then Salah and Mane would effectively be strikers most of the time. But when we needed them to go wide, they'd go wide, and Firmino would go through the middle. But at the same time, a lot of Firmino would drop in, pull a defender out of position. Salah and Mane would cut in and go inside and score from where a striker would normally score from. But now, I think when we got Darwin Nunes, he's obviously not that type of player. We never bought Gakpo till later on in the season, and Firmino was out injured a lot. So we just had to go with Darwin. Darwin, obviously, as you've seen today, loves playing on the shoulder of the last man. Quick through ball.
He's got the pace for it as well.
But that doesn't accommodate Salah. So Salah had to figure out how am I still going to be effective in a team where I can't score the goals like I used to score.
Yeah.
And like I said, he receives the ball out wide heaps more now.
Yeah. No, look, fair play to him. Like it was a good goal, good pass.
Went to St. James Park, got the 3 points with 10 men. Look, that's two games in a row. 2 games in a row now, down to 10 men. I'm not really going to count even the first game as like we went there with.
Looks like you just play better with 10 men. You should be asking for it more.
With too much noise around the game with other things, and we didn't have that central defensive mid. Now we've got that. In the last 2 games, I don't know. Could be a good season for us if we continue on with the form.
Yeah, no, for sure, for
Let's get
sure.
to
Well,
prediction.
both teams played like champions this week. Like both your teams like got the. I mean, not play like champ, like got champions results. What I mean is like when it
Yeah,
was the odds against them,
against
they
those
they
things. Yeah.
got a result. You know what I mean? And that's the result of a champion winning team. But yeah, look, we've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes, and we still haven't done the prediction league. So look, we'll wrap this show up very soon. But before we do, I'm gonna give the prediction league results and tables to my co-host Sol, and yeah, he can finish off the show for you guys.
All right, guys. Week 3 review. We're only gonna be doing our games. So if you want to see the results of all the games, they'll be on our Instagram page. Go check them out. If you want to see like all the results for each of our games, but we're only going to be talking mainly about our ones. Because we don't really have much time left. We're just going to wrap this up. Okay, so the first game was Man United and Nottingham Forest. The score ended in 3-2. Had Joey on 2-0, so he got 2-0 United, so he got 1 point for that. Banks 3-1 United. Just missed out on the 2 points on that one. Got 1 point for that, and I picked 1-0 for my team. Thought it was going to be a tough game. It was, but a lot of goals, which I was not expecting. So 1-0, I got 1 point. The second game will be Man City and who do you play? Sheffield Wednesday? Sheffield United. Joey, score ended 1-0 to Man City. Joey picked 3-0 City, so 1 point. Banks got 4-0 City, so 1 point.
Thanks, Haaland.
And I got 2-0 City as well, so 1 point.
Yeah.
In the last game, Newcastle and Liverpool ended 2-1 to Liverpool, and Joey with the correct score and correct result, 2-1. So nice him, he got his 2 points. And me and Banks picked Newcastle to win, so we both didn't get no points on that one.
Thanks, Darwin Nunes.
George, this is an evidence of backing your team.
Backing your
Yeah,
team.
fair play. You know
week-
what? You know what?
week
I'll
you
put my
didn't-
hand
you
up.
didn't back your team.
Yeah, no. You know what? Fair play. Because you know what? If I did back my team, I would have got the points for it and everything. So,
Yeah.
and I'll put my hand up and say, fair play. You did back your team, and they got the result for you. So, fair play to that. But look, I'm here to win. At the end of the day, I don't want to be coming last. I know I'm last at the moment, but that just doesn't reflect my,
long season.
It's a long season. You know how us City fans are. We start slow, we finish top at the end.
All on our Instagram page. So mainly the whole score ended. I'll just go for a quick. The end score for Joseph for the week was 6 out of 20 points. Banks got 4 out of 20, and I got 9 out of 20.
Damn, 9 out of 20.
You can get 2 points for every
game.
Yeah,
no, I'm just saying 9 out of 20. Almost half the choices.
So Joey at the moment on week 3 ends on 12 points. Banks is on 10, and I'm on 14 at the moment. If you want to join in, guys. 12. Oh,
how
14.
much 12.
No, 12. So I'm 14, 12, 10. So it's like 2 points in front of each other, but I'm 4 in front of George.
Sorry. We'll get there.
If you want to comment as well, comment if you want to join in with us. Like, subscribe to the video. Make sure you do that. We will be doing more predictions in our next show. And again, the transfer window closes this week, so we'll be doing our top 5 and relegation 3. So this will be for the extra points at the end of the season. So guys, get ready to think of your relegation / top 5 teams. Going to be saying in the next show as well.
United going down.
I think that's all for the. Yes, like I said, check out our Instagram page if you want to see all the results of ours, or watch the last video if you want to see what we said, how we thought our teams would go, all the teams really. And that's it for the prediction league. Back to our host. Thanks.
Yeah, awesome. Well done. All right. Well, look, yeah, it's been a great show, lads. look, we could probably go longer, but it's getting late here in Australia. It's almost 11 o'clock over here, so we want to wrap it up. We'll go get to sleep, unfortunately. But it's been a pleasure as always.
Yet, so we still got a working job.
Yeah, we're still not. Yeah, this is just a little hobby we do. We don't do this full time. Unfortunately, we all have a 9 to 5, and they provide for their families. I provide for my cat. So but we do this because we love the sport, and we just enjoy having. Well, we debate anyway and talk, so we thought, why not film it and see what you guys think? Like, oh, look at these three dickheads. Maybe you agree with these three dickheads, maybe you don't agree with us. But either way, it's still we do this for you. Yeah, we do this for you, and we enjoy it. Before I go, just a quick shout out to Geek World again. Thank you, Geek World, for editor Rick, I should say, for doing all our editing and just helping.
I want to win the packs.
Oh yeah,
I want the packs. Go subscribe.
And thank you.
Actually, and we can get the packs out there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. That's actually a great segue. He's actually the Rick Stooge and his wife will be doing a pack opening show recently, and keep an eye out for those shows because he'll be giving you the instructions on how to enter for a giveaway, which Joey seems to already be ahead of. I can't believe it. I can't enter it because apparently I'm his friend, so friends can't enter because you know what I mean. But whatever. But you know how it is. But look, guys, just a quick shout out to Geek World. His channel is Geek World UK. And massive thank you to editor Rick. And I'll leave it at that. Until next time, lads, we will be doing this again next week for the review show, the preview show. Yeah, we'll be doing it earlier. So we're going to try to do it on around the same time frames, same days or whatever. But yeah, we still haven't figured out an actual concrete date that we want to do it on. But once we do, yous will figure it out. Yous will see and we'll put schedules up and everything. But in the meantime, my friends and all my co-hosts as well. I've been your host, G Banks. Say bye, fellas, to the audience.
Adios. Vamos, Nunes.
Vamos.
That's it. Vamos.